going to now go on to rules. Okay? So I'm going to give you the most important rule. When I teach new venture finance, the first class, I put up 3 rules on the board. And I say to the students, if you walk away with nothing else from this class except these 3 rules, you'll be in good shape. Okay? Of course you'll fail, of course, but first, cash is king. Okay? Why is this the case? Because when you're out of cash, you're dead. Okay? That's it. That's you going down. Right? Okay. So that means that you manage everything at the beginning of your venture for cash. Cash is critical. Now, you may have seen this before, but it bears a review. Okay? How does cash work within your business? Okay. We have a capital infusion. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about sources of money for your business, but let's for right now just say there's a capital infusion from somewhere. And we now create cash. We have a bank account, and we're full of cash in the bank account. So what do? Well, first thing, we go out and we buy fixtures, furniture, and equipment, FF&E, right? We go out, we buy whatever we need to do our job, whether it's a computer, a desk, a lawnmower, a widget manufacturer, whatever it is. And we go out and we buy the parts to make our product, or we buy the supplies that we need to render our service. Plus, we hire people, even if it's yourself, we hire people to go out and do that work. Okay? And then from there, we create finished goods. We make our widgets and we put them in inventory, and we go out and we sell them. Right? Now, we're probably selling them at the time we're doing all this as well. But we now have finished goods, and either we're shipping them to our clients or we're delivering them to our clients. Then what happens after that? Do the clients typically show up with check in hand? Unfortunately not. So we turn that into receivables. Okay? And our receivables then ultimately turn into cash. The problem is it takes 30 to 60 days for our receivables to turn into cash, and we haven't even accounted for the time it takes us to go through this process of ordering, manufacturing, and getting things done. So in total, our pipeline could take 60 to 120 days. So when we look at our business and we look at what it costs to actually open the doors every single month, we might have between 2 and 4 months worth of cash checks that we have to write before $1 rolls in the door. Now, obviously, if we do that, we have to have enough cash to make it around the pipeline. Now, this doesn't also include growth. Because as I'm going around that pipeline, if I'm growing, most of us want to grow at ridiculously high rates, let's say 50%, right? If I sell a product, and at the end of selling that product, I have 50 cents left over, which is a pretty good deal, right? I sell it for $1 and 50 cents goes in my pocket. And I'm growing at a 50% rate, all my cash gets poured right back into the business. Now, most of us don't have products for which at the bottom line is 50%. Usually it's a lot less than 50%. So if we're growing at a 50% rate, then what happens? What happens is we run out of cash very quickly. So you've got to be sure that whatever you do, you're watching what cash is coming in, what cash you expect to come in the next 30 or 60 days, and how many checks you're going to have to be writing. You've got to constantly match those up, because at the point you run out, then obviously there's a disaster waiting.